The sentiment ratio oscillator is a very useful and powerful tool that is readily available for various trading platforms on the comprehensive TradingFinder website. Traders can easily download the essential indicator file for popular platforms such as MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 directly from this dedicated section. Furthermore, to thoroughly learn how this sophisticated indicator truly works and effectively operates, they can carefully read the detailed information provided on this very page. From the Navigator section, we select the indicator file, and by dragging it, we add the indicator to the chart. After adding the indicator, a separate oscillator window will be displayed for us at the bottom of the chart. The sentiment ratio oscillator indicator is a special and practical tool for traders who are looking to identify the market trend direction and recognize overbought and oversold zones for price charts. This indicator makes the market sentiment and the flow of capital clear for us, and by using it, we can receive buy and sell signals. The way this indicator works is based on receiving two types of signals for you and the chart, and we can use these two signals as entry signals for trades. The first scenario is when the signal line crosses the oscillator line upwards, which we can use as an opportunity to enter a buy trade, and when the signal line crosses the oscillator line downwards, we can use this situation as a sell signal to exit the market. In the second scenario, we can also effectively utilize the double dash level, and when the signal line clearly crosses the predetermined set level upwards, we can confidently enter a buy position. And conversely, when the set level is crossed downwards, indicating a potential bearish trend, we would consider a sell position. We can enter a sell position in the market. Just be sure to pay very close attention to this crucial point. The trading signals you receive and subsequently use to enter your trades must always be in perfect alignment with the overall prevailing market trend. For example, if the price action is clearly making higher highs and also higher lows, as we can distinctly observe here on the chart, we can confidently use these specific signals to initiate and enter profitable buy trades. Conversely, when the price action is making lower highs and also lower lows, and a clear cross occurs, we can then strategically enter a sell position within the market. In the comprehensive settings section, specifically under the inputs category, there are several important options and configurable parameters available for your customization. In the very first input field, you have the ability to precisely specify the particular time frame from which the oscillator will meticulously read its data. By default, it is conveniently set to the current time frame you are viewing, but you possess the flexibility to select anything from a very short 1-minute interval all the way up to an extended 1-month period here. In the sentiment zone period input field, you can carefully set the specific period for the indicator's calculation of sentiment. The higher you set this value, the longer the historical period that will be considered for the sentiment analysis. Conversely, the lower the value, the shorter the sentiment period will be, making it more responsive to recent changes. The third input option is dedicated to the method and the precise formula used for calculating the sentiment average. Here, a variety of different calculation methods are thoughtfully provided, and you have the freedom to choose among them based on your analytical preferences. In the next input field, you can clearly specify the calculation method that will be utilized for the open price. In the noise parameter, you are able to set the specific amount of noise that will be considered, which directly relates to the process of price movement denoising. Increasing this particular value will effectively filter out smaller, less significant price noises, thereby providing a clearer signal, while decreasing it will make the calculation much more sensitive to even minor noise fluctuations. In the next input option, you can carefully select the filtering calculation method, which is specifically designed for the moving average, and 5 distinct options are thoughtfully provided here for your selection. In the subsequent section, you have the choice to select the display style for the ranking, with 3 distinct options readily available. Selecting the very first option will fundamentally change the way the ranking lines are visually displayed, and will also clearly show the buy-sell strength value. In the next input field, you can choose the level type from 2 distinct available options. Selecting the first option will alter the display and this particular section, and selecting the second option will optimize the value for display, which will also consequently change the underlying calculation values. In the next input, you can precisely set the calculation period length for the buy-sell strength. The higher you set this value, the longer the calculation period will be, and the resulting strength values will exhibit more extension and smoothness. In the next two input fields, you can meticulously set the distance between the strength lines and the panel margins. The higher you set this value, the greater the visual gap will be, and the price will consequently reach the overbought, oversold zones at a later point in time. The lower the value, the smaller the gap will be, and the indicator will enter the overbought, oversold zone sooner and issue its signals earlier. In the next section, you have the crucial ability to enable or disable the sending of alerts. If this important option is set to false, the following input fields will not be functional and no alerts will be issued whatsoever. If it is set to true, alerts will be actively issued. In the next input field, you can enable or disable alerts specifically while the candle is still open. If set to true, alerts will be issued even while the candle is still in its formation. If set to false, alerts will only be issued once the candle has fully closed. In the next input, you can enable or disable the display of alerts as a clear message directly on your screen. In the next input, you can enable or disable email alerts. But it is very important to note that if you set this to true, you must meticulously complete the necessary email settings within the Tools Greater Than Options section of the platform. In the next input, you can enable or disable mobile notification alerts, allowing you to receive alerts on your mobile device. Finally, in the very last input field, the interpolate option is specifically related to situations when you are using the multi-time frame mode and the selected time frame is higher than your current viewing time frame. If you set this particular parameter to true, it will allow you to see the signal line displayed very smoothly. If set to false, it will be displayed in a more stepped or jagged manner. Currently, we are observing the chart on the 30-minute time frame, and the selected time frame for the indicator is set to 4 hours, with the interpolate option currently set to false. After clicking the confirm button, you can clearly see that the display is stepped. However, if you set this crucial option to true, the calculation and the visual display of the signal line will become much smoother and more continuous. Well, my dear friends, we have now successfully reached the very end of this comprehensive indicator tutorial. We would be absolutely delighted if you would kindly share your valuable comments and insightful suggestions with us in the comments section below.